Good, happy Sunday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Sunday edition of Politics with Riley King. Let's begin. Gillibrand formally announces presidential candidacy to speak in front of Trump NYC Hotel next week. New York Senator moves from exploratory phase to official campaign in video asking, "Will Brave win?" New York Senator Christine Gillibrand formally announced her presidential candidacy Sunday morning with a video that focused on the Star Spangled Banner and taking the fight directly to President Donald Trump, asking the question, "Will Brave win?" Gillibrand also announced that she will deliver a speech to support next Sunday in a unique setting, a rally outside the Trump International Hotel in New York City. Inslee, Moulton, and de Blasio to visit New Hampshire. Washington Governor Jay Inslee, Massachusetts Rep. Seth Moulton, and New York Senator Mayor Bill de Blasio were all in New Hampshire on Saturday. Inslee met with the Rockingham County Democrats. He's been in New Hampshire before, but this is his first visit since officially announcing his candidacy for president. Inslee spoke about health care and the economic, but his main platform is climate change. He said he is focusing on creating millions of clean energy jobs across the country while defeating what he described as the greatest challenger of our time. Moulton stopped in Somersworth and Concord. He has not officially committed to run for White House, but says he's taking a serious look at it. Moulton is a veteran who focused on foreign and military affairs. He said it's time to create a new policy that fits for the next generation. Moulton says he'll make a final decision on running for president in the next 4 to 6 weeks. De Blasio will also has not announced a run, spoke to voters at the Strong Brew Tavern in Manchester on Saturday night, and praised the young Democrats of New Hampshire for getting Democrats into office. Beto O'Rourke to make first campaign visit to New Hampshire this week. Granite Staters anxiously waiting to see and hear from Beto O'Rourke won't have to wait much longer. We have learned that former Texas congressman and political foe will make his maiden visit to first primary state New Hampshire this week. Details about the days and venues for his campaign swing will be disclosed in the coming few days. Warren tells New Hampshire voters she wants to reduce influence of money in politics. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
And Bailey.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren enters a crowded Exeter town hall alongside her two biggest supporters, husband Bruce and dog Bailey.
If you're going to win the Democratic nomination for president, does that start here in New Hampshire?
There's nothing better than the kind of democracy you get on the ground right here in New Hampshire.
During a taping of Close Up earlier in the day, Warren talked about the attacks in New Zealand, part of which were live streamed on social media.
I think that the time has come for putting much more responsibility on these tech companies for what's happening out in social media. This really worries me.
At a Salem house party, Warren took aim at President Trump's proposed wall along the southern border.
This wall is not about security. This wall is a monument to hate and division, and it is being advanced for political reasons only.
Warren striking a common theme in her campaign, saying government is only working for those with money and power. She wants to end lobbying, strengthen unions, and lift up working families.
We've got to address the corruption in Washington head on. We have got to change the rules in this economy. We have got to change the rules to protect our democracy.
Warren also hit on big campaign issues like her proposed ultra-millionaire tax and says time is running short to take action on climate change. In Exeter, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Booker reaches out to voters in New Hampshire's Upper Valley. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Adam Sexton.
On the campaign trail in New Hampshire, voters say Cory Booker is like the IMAX theater version of a presidential candidate.
Bigger than life. I believe one of his greatest strengths is that he will be able to take on somebody like Donald Trump by being positive.
Booker made 2 stops in the Upper Valley Friday, drawing a crowd to the Salt Hill Pub in Lebanon, and then holding a house party in Claremont, where legislation Booker co-sponsored is attempting to spark economic revitalization through investment.
Right here in this community, it is an opportunity zone.
The New Jersey senator drew applause when he said, quote, "There will be a woman on the ticket in 2020, essentially committing to naming a woman as his running mate if he wins the nomination.
I wish there was a woman president right now. I worked very hard to make sure there was a woman president. And should I be a nominee, you can be sure that I'll look to have gender diversity on my ticket.
Sitting down for an interview that will air Sunday on Close Up, Booker responded to the anti-Islamic mass shooting in New Zealand, saying the next president needs a plan to combat hatred.
We've had in this country since 9/11, I guess now we're up to about 80 terrorist attacks. The majority of them have been right-wing extremists. The majority of those have been white supremacists. And so we've got to get back to being a country that's united against hate.
Senator Booker is making it a habit not to stay in hotels while he's here, opting instead for staying with local activists and elected officials to try to get more in touch with the state of New Hampshire. Live in the studio, Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. They are almost worse than enablers. Author of Kushner Inc. talks Jared and Ivanka. the author of a new book about Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump's government service, said on Sunday that the couple have gone into government for all the wrong reasons. And that does it for this Sunday edition of Politics with Riley King. I hope you all enjoyed this Sunday edition of Politics with Riley King. I'll see you back here next Sunday for another edition of Politics with Riley King. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day, everyone. And see you back here next Sunday for another edition of Politics with Riley King. Goodbye, everyone.